Yo, what's up guys? Inco here with probably the final update for this build. There's still updates to be made in that, but probably gonna be done investing in this build and moving into a new build. So we're just gonna do a Minotaur map, Ink AoE, whatever mods. We'll also do the Scourge stuff on the way. Basically at this point you're just running around hexblasting everything. You don't even have to curse. You can also do this if you want. Weapon swaps Invictus, get your rampage, swap back, keep going. And your rampage stacks will persist. I imagine we should be able to tank Minotaur also. And once we're done with the map, we'll talk about the changes, what you guys should upgrade from the most recent video in order in that. Like I said, this will probably be the last update for the build. Kind of done investing into it. There's definitely improvements to be made with like elevating mods and different stuff, but I'm very happy with where it's at. So now we'll let everything fall off. We'll see. I'm pretty sure we should be able to tank Minotaur stuff. But I mean, this could be a complete fail. Yeah. Yeah, so no problem. We'll now we'll show the damage on him, bring him over here. So if I punishment curse him, I was gonna say that should be a lot better now. I only had despair on him. That was my bad. Yeah. Minotaur map. Really tanky against fizz stuff and that. If you want to be more tanky, something I'll go ahead and mention ahead of time. If you want to be more tanky against elemental damage, physical we literally have no problem, like at all. Unbuffed, we're at 23k armor. You know, good attack block and spell block. And you have even more attack block if you're still using a Martyr of Innocence, just because it inherently has more on the weapon. But if you want to be a lot more tanky, do a path down here, take this jewel slot, use a Xibaqua Timeless Jewel that gives you the 50% of elemental damage taken as chaos, so you convert mind over matter. And then for a small cluster, you would take the small chaos cluster and Born in Chaos, I believe, the max chaos res one. But because we're occultists and we just get so much chaos res inherently, you'll easily be able to cap that and you'll be at 83 chaos res. And that means 50% of your elemental damage, which is kind of where we're weak, because, you know, we just have capped res against that. We're not like over capped or anything by any means. You'd be taking 50% of that elemental damage as chaos, and your chaos would be 83%. As far as the changes on the tree, I don't really think much has changed. I was gonna get Fan the Flames and replace Ignite Proliferation with Empower, but like I said, I'm kind of just done investing in the build. Like I don't really need to buy anything more, and I'm kind of just saving up for a new build. So there's definitely still ways to upgrade it in that, but this is the only mod we elevated because you kind of, well, you have to, otherwise you don't get the Ignite to inflict deal damage faster. So the one big upgrade, actually we'll talk about them in order. The first upgrade you want to make from the past is having an additional curse chest. If you're still using a martyr, and you have your gems socketed in chest, you could do a level of socketed gems here. I chose non-curse aura because my Hexblast is going in my weapon. But at minimum, you want additional curse because your next upgrade, you can kind of choose. I would recommend replacing your boots first. It does kind of suck losing that big AoE if you have the wind freaks, if you had the faded versions. But having the ignite you inflict deal damage faster is a lot more damage for your ignite. They were just made, rolled them, had the suffixes. I was basically just keeping pairs. Oddly enough, this turned into like a poison pair. I was just keeping them and using Harvest and Scorched Fossils until I got good suffixes and ignite you inflict deal damage faster. And then once you get your suffixes, you can do suffixes cannot be changed. Use a Veiled Chaos Orb on it and unveil. Cannot be chilled's nice because it lets us ignore having to get reduced effective chill on our jewels and that. So ideally I would have liked to have Onslaught here just for like extra movement and stuff. And then once you have those two upgrades, you can keep Vixens. Vixens are the last thing that I changed. But your Blizzard Crown, you would want to at least try to get elevated the Redeemer mod, the burning damage. And I think you only need like eye level 75 to get T1 of the mod. So I was just rolling Scorched Fossils until I got tier 1 of the burning damage and another Redeemer mod. Fortunately, I kind of had a fuck up and wasted a Maven Orb. Do know that there's a regen mana suffix for Redeemer. So kind of wasted one of those, but you know, it's whatever, it happens. And then once you hit that, you will later want to Awaken Orbit with the minus Chaos Res from Hunter. And just like, as you see, this is item of 83. And the minus 9 Chaos Res is an 85 mod on Hunter, right? But it doesn't care because you're Awakening Orbing that mod onto this item. So like when you're Woke Orbing, I know there's like questions around that. People aren't sure. It doesn't matter as long as you're taking it from an item and putting it on another one. If that item you're putting it on is lower level than the mod requires, it's still going to work with Woke Orb. So, yep, did that. You know, the last suffix kind of sucks, but basically the same idea. I did suffixes cannot be changed and hit it with Reforged Life from Harvest. Got a life roll, was happy with that. Had an open prefix, just crafted +1 AoE on it. Again, our gem links are kind of wonky, but you know, we'll talk about that later. From there, you would want to upgrade your gloves to get out of your Vixens. And you would want to Woke Orb together, Fire Dot Multi with damage over time from Warlord. These gloves are obviously less than ideal. I just, you know, again, didn't want to recraft. This build already has, I think, like 7 or 8 million ignite or something. Like I kill Cirrus, everything, no problem. I've done all the imitations, killed Maven multiple times. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep the build, but I want to make a Zoomy build. And then from there, after your gloves, you'd be looking for an amulet. And I've had a lot of people in the stream asking about this and that, because I've had it for a bit now. The prefixes are fucked. Again, using Veiled Chaos Orb. Unfortunately, I hit life when I used the Veiled Chaos Orb, and I was like, alright, I'm just not recrafting it, whatever, don't care. But in order to make this amulet, the best way, don't waste your, I mean, unless you have them, don't waste your money with Essences of Delirium, because I mean, they're 23C right now or something. The trick that you want to do with this, you want 3 socket resonators. If you notice, the Corrupted Essence mod has Caster and Curse. And obviously you want a Hunter base because you're looking for Fire Dot Multi or generic damage over time multi, which you can actually get higher. I kind of just got lucky with that. But what you want to do, use a Glyphic Fossil, which gives you a Corrupted Essence modifier, which is this one right here. And then you can either use Etheric to boost the chance of getting the Max Doom mod because it's Caster and Curse tag. And this gives more caster modifiers. You can use Etheric, or you can use Bound Fossil. I personally use etheric because it's more cost efficient. So I use glyphic, etheric, and scorched fossils in a 3-socket resonator. I don't recall how many it took. I want to say somewhere around 10-ish. Obviously, you can get pretty lucky or not, but and I mean, from here you could even make it better. You could get +1 level of chaos gems. You would lock the suffixes and do reforge chaos in that. Like there's still stuff to improve on this build. Same with gem links and getting enlightened in your main links. Elevating mods. My belt is pretty wonky in that. There's actually a really good mod like Warlord, I think. I'm not sure how it would work, but I would imagine it should work with Black Flame. But it adds damage against burning targets or something. I really don't remember. Shout out to Dante for that one, by the way. He made one and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. But yeah, as far as upgrades, that's about it. We haven't really changed anything on the tree. Tree's about the same. Like I said, I was going to get Fan the Flames and move into an Empower in here for more damage. But yeah, if you want to be more tanky, for sure. Also, you can completely drop a curse if you want, like not use the Blasphemy Temp chains. Because I would say, obviously, your Despair and your Punishment are required. So obviously, we're self-casting Despair. And we just have that with Ink AoE and Impending Doom. And then we have our Bane linked to Punishment. You want to use this because if you don't have Bane, you'll notice if you try to cast both of them. Let me... It overwrites. So you can't like do them both. So you don't want that. And I mean, I know it kind of sucks like an extra button press, but trust me. So now when you do it, you can cast them both. And both curses will get casted at the same time, or applied at the same time. So even though it takes a gem link, you'll definitely want to do that. Flasks are still kind of whatever. Still the Sinvictus stuff. Yeah, I think that's about it. I'll have POB in the description. And I mean, if you want to see more, because I'm still going to be playing this build. If you want to see more, you know, playing it against like Cirrus or Maven or stuff, you can follow me on Twitch. I'll have a link to that. I'll be playing it, just farming currency and stuff. Been doing logbooks and that recently, delving, looking for alls. Has been too nice to me. He keeps giving me rings. I've gotten 1 amulet so far, so I mean, well, 1 good amulet. I got a determination one like day 3 of the league or something. So can't complain too much, but yeah, if you guys want to see more of the build, ask questions about it, you can stop by the Twitch or comment here. If not, I'm going to have the POV for this one in the description. I'll have a link to my profile on that. As always, hope you guys are enjoying Scourge League. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.